Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into photobiomodulation, or PBM,
Right.
which, most of us just call red light therapy or RLT.
Exactly.
Our mission is to really get past the hype and look at the actual cellular mechanics
Yeah.
and see how it's being used for some serious physiological optimization.
Well, it's a non-invasive tool, fundamentally.
Hmm.
It uses very specific wavelengths of light in the red and near-infrared spectrum.
So what are we talking numbers-wise?
Generally from around 600 nanometers up to about 900. And while the red light is great for skin, the real longevity tool is the new infrared, the NIR.
The NIR band.
Yes, especially around 800 to 850 nanometers.
Okay.
That's the sweet spot that can actually get deep into your muscle, your bone, and even your neural tissue.
And it's just amazing how fast this has gone from a niche clinic thing to a core part of serious biohacking.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you see people like Brian Johnson with his Blueprint protocol, citing RLT for tissue regeneration, for repair. That's a huge sign that this thing actually works.
And to get why it works, you have to go right inside the cell's engine, the mitochondria.
Okay.
RLT's photons, they activate this key molecular receptor. It's called cytochrome C oxidase.
CCO. I've seen it.
CCO, or complex form. That's the main chromophore that just soaks up the light and gets the whole machine running.
So when you flip that switch, what's the direct result? Is the cell just like getting a temporary jolt of energy?
It's more fundamental than that. Stimulating CCO enhances what's called electron transport.
Mm.
The result is a really significant increase in adenosine triphosphate, ATP,
The cell's fuel.
the fundamental energy currency. You need it for every single repair job the body does.
Wait, I also read that it creates a little bit of reactive oxygen species, ROS. Isn't ROS? Isn't that the bad stuff we're always trying to fight with antioxidants?
That's a great question, and it really gets to the nuance here. It's about controlled stress. This isn't damage.
Yeah.
It's what we call redox signaling. By creating that mild temporary ROS spike, RLT is basically acting like an exercise mimetic.
So it's like a tiny workout for the cell.
Precisely. It gives the cell a little nudge that triggers these adaptive responses, telling it, hey, you need to get stronger and repair faster.
So if it's an energy boost and an adaptive signal, why not just sit under it all day?
And here's where it gets really critical. RLT follows what's called a biphasic dose response.
Gaming.
Too little light and nothing happens. But too much light can actually be counterproductive, even inhibitory. Dosing is everything.
So you have to measure it.
You have to. The key metric is fluence, measured in joules per centimeter squared. Think of it as the total energy you're delivering to the tissue.
And that's calculated how?
It's the irradiance, that's the power of the device, multiplied by the time you're under it.
And the numbers here are, they're worlds apart, right,
Yeah.
for different goals.
Huge difference. For skin, you might want a lower power, maybe 20 to 50 milliwatts per centimeter squared.
Okay, pretty low.
But for deep muscle recovery, you need to crank that up. We're often talking 100 to 200 milliwatts to make sure those photons actually reach the target.
But isn't there a risk of hitting that inhibitory zone if you go too high or for too long?
There is, which is why you have to respect the dose. But timing also helps. Morning sessions can be like a metabolic wake-up call.
Energizing.
Very. But a short evening session, maybe 10-15 minutes, can help regulate your circadian rhythm and actually improve sleep quality.
Now that ATP yield we talked about,
Yeah.
RLT is a multiplier, right? It turns up the efficiency, but if the raw materials aren't there.
The benefit is capped, exactly. That's why synergistic cofactors are so important. They remove the bottlenecks.
Like what?
Coenzyme Q10, or ubiquinol, is a big one. It directly supports the electron transport chain RLT is activating. And magnesium. Magnesium is absolutely critical for converting that raw energy into usable ATP.
So before anyone runs out to buy a panel, we have to talk about the non-negotiable safety rules.
Absolutely. Mandatory warning. You must avoid RLT if you are taking any photosensitizing medications.
For example.
Common antibiotics like tetracycline or doxycycline. The risk of a severe phototoxic reaction is very real.
And for skincare. A lot of people use it for that. Any practical tips there?
Yes, a critical one. If you use retinoids like retinol or tretinoin, you must always apply them after the RLT session.
Never before.
Never before. The light on top of those topicals can cause a lot of irritation and dryness.
So to pull this all together, RLT isn't magic. It's a cellular optimization tool. It helps you handle higher training volumes by cutting down recovery time and boosting repair. That's what drives those long-term adaptations.
Which leaves you with a final thought to consider for your own protocol. Since RLT is a metabolic multiplier, does optimizing your cellular efficiency with light and the right nutrients give you a bigger return on your health investment than any single intervention on its own?